Boy, that's like, well, it is. I guess it is music to our ears. When we hear that song, it means it's go time on Three Guys Before the Game. Hey, everybody, welcome in. It's episode, how about this one? 444. Oh, yeah. Is there something, what's that called? What is that, Hoppy? Is that a something or other?
Not that I know.
I think they call it a multiple number. Repeating. 444. Someone out there will know. Welcome in, everybody. This is Three Guys Before the Game, and the title of the episode is Cowboy Poked. Gonna kind of pretend Saturday didn't happen.
Yeah.
What was Saturday?
Over that.
What was Saturday?
Well, it's going to be Cowboys Poked. Three Guys suffers from amnesia. Maybe go that way out.
Move on.
Three Guys Before the Game brought to us by the Burdette Camping Center, the only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia. By GoMart. If you are not a GoMart Rewards card member, you need to sign up today. You can save on your gas, your favorite snacks. Go to GoMart.com rewards for more details. Go for good times. Go for GoMart. At Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. And we have a new sponsor.
Hey.
Right.
Oh, all right. Well, good.
Yeah. And it's another fun sponsor. Like, we do fun stuff, right? Like Burdette Camping, right? That's a fun thing. RV.
Fun. RV,
Right?
take it
Yeah,
wherever.
That's fun. GoMart. What do they say? Go for good times, you go for GoMart, right? That's fun.
I'll be stopping there later today.
You're right. You've become a heavy GoMart user.
Heavy
Yeah.
GoMart.
Yeah.
Comax Business Systems, they make things fun too, because Brad and I, we would just curse at our printer for years till Comax came in. The same thing business owners do.
Years. He's not kidding with the years.
Fixed it?
Years.
Fixed it.
Fix it. Just had it. Had the thing set up in about 12. What did I text you? 15, 20 seconds?
Yeah, done. So
what
they're
No
making
hassle.
people
That's what you
happy.
gotta
I just want to plug it in, turn it on, and let's start going. And
Exactly. That's what they do. So, yeah.
So that
Well,
was
you
fun.
know what our next you know what our new sponsor, what their tagline is? Right in line. Their tagline is, "We sell family fun."
There you go.
Oh, yeah. See, I like that.
Welcome in, Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans.
Good to have you.
They
Nice to
sell
see you.
family fun. You can visit them at LouWendellMarineSales.com.
Line up on a big pontoon.
Yeah, exactly. So
Take your RV to the lake
sure.
and then get on the pontoon boat.
Yeah, let me tell you something why this works for us. If you're a regular listener, you know that we gravitate toward things that may be like we don't want. We
What are
don't
you
do.
saying now?
Okay, so I listen to a podcast, and they use this term, and I'm going to steal it from those guys. They do They say we don't do small boy stuff. We do big boy stuff. And here at Three Guys, we do big boy stuff too. We don't want anything to do with small boy stuff. Small boy, you can't play. You got to go away. We do big boy stuff.
All right.
So we're locking arms with Wendell Marine Sales. Why? Well, family owned, family run, working on 4 decades. Number one pontoon sales in the state of West Virginia. They are considered to be the experts in pontoon boats. What they sell is the Avalon pontoon boat, which is made right here, 100% manufactured in America, Elma, Michigan. Now they started off in just outside of Elma, moved in 1978 to Elma. And so now 100% manufactured, always have been, in the U.S. of A. So if you're in that mode, pontoon boater, or thinking, and the Senator does it exclusively through the summer. He's a big pontoon boat guy on Sheep
big
Lake.
pontoon guy here.
Like he can drive
Drive it back, that thing up,
yeah.
Hoppy, spin it in circles there, pull the kids behind.
kids
big,
behind,
big
yeah.
pontoon.
Good. It's good summer fun.
Good
Yeah.
summer
By
fun.
the way,
Great summer fun.
West Virginians are boat people. You go around this state, you get a large pond, and there'll be a boat in it. West Virginians will get boats.
Yeah. I mean, they'll go to the extreme. There's kind of like, I get you.
Bass boat,
Yeah.
pontoon boat,
Big old
Speed
pontoon boat.
ski boat.
So if you're a
Rowboat.
if you're in the mode for a pontoon parts, sales, service, you already know what I'm telling you about. Wendell Marine Sales, St. Albans. It's the home of Red Dragons. and it's the home of Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Check him out at LouWendellMarineSales.com.
Awesome. Welcome aboard.
Do you think maybe we do?
But hurry down there. I mean, we're getting close.
You think we
Weather's
do?
getting ready to pop.
Yep.
Get that thing in the lake.
Do it 3 guys from a pontoon sometime?
Absolutely, we should. I don't know why we wouldn't.
Boy, I tell you what, things have gotten busy. Things have gotten busy on this show, man. That's all I'm saying. It's like, whoa. Just started as a little joke. Just started as a little fun. All of a sudden,
A little podcast.
getting emails all hours of the night, this and that. Kercheval's beers exploding. It's crazy.
Exploding.
Is what it is.
Exploding.
It's,
Both sales and rating wise.
yeah, the show's so
I hear
busy.
that.
Yeah, show is so busy that Kercheval's leaving in 26 minutes.
Got to leave.
Like, hey, let me tell you something.
Big meeting.
I'll give you guys 31 minutes today, and that's all you're getting.
This is a perfect podcast, too. He's just going to get up and walk off.
Oh, dude, plus you get absolutely a
What?
couple of times
Excoriated?
on these texts. Pretty
That's
good. No, I mean, the people,
self-actualized.
no. They're not taking shots at you. It's not like that other thing you do, that or whatever that thing you do, where they're mean to you. This is just having good-natured fun. This is good. This is just good-natured fun. All right. So the last time we got together, we previewed Texas Tech and we previewed Oklahoma State. Well, as we said, and I clearly said, it's a 5-game series. West Virginia has to win 3 of the 5 to pretty much guarantee itself an opportunity to get an at-large to the NCAA tournament. Well, they went 1-1, and now they've got 3 left. 2 on the road: Kansas Saturday, Iowa State next Monday, and then back home here for Kansas State. So if you're going to get 7 here, you got to win 2 of your last 3, which would include a road victory at either Kansas or Iowa State. Okay. So we'll get into that, because there's also this idea that's floating out there, and I have not been able to talk with someone or the right people yet that are very, very tuned into this. There are some that think that West Virginia or a 6-win team in the league could still get in. There are still some that think that could happen. I didn't want to go there. Like, I never brought up the possibility of 6, because I think if you do 6, let's lower it for the camera. If you do 6, you have your hands on the windowsill and your legs are hanging out of the window and you're going like this. You're trying to have this. It's really dangerous.
It'd be historic, but the numbers tell you that that's in play.
Yes.
I mean, Bracket Matrix, which I've talked about before, that aggregates over 100 brackets. They're at 109. As of this morning, West Virginia's still in as an 11 seed. Now they're the second 11 seed. So you're hanging on the ledge, and you probably only have one hand left. And someone's walking across the room to step on your fingers to get you to release. So you're in essence, one of the last 4 in right now. So we'll see what that lands. Now, you pick up one of these road wins, if you could do that.
And you get K-State.
All right, then 6 might be in range.
I see what you're saying.
Because that's going to be a huge jump if you can get one of those road wins.
Okay. So let's go in here. We're going to do a quick autopsy on Saturday. Worst loss of the year for West Virginia. Worst loss of the year. You're at home. You know what's at stake. These unbelievable supporters of the Mountaineers, 13,940,
Incredible.
come out there and they pack the place.
This has been a championship year for the crowd.
Yes.
I mean, it really has. It's been unbelievable. Now the K-State game is sold out. I mean, it's been incredible. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. And so West Virginia goes out, and they're up a point, 35-34, go up 8 with just over 8 minutes to go in the game, and then absolutely crumble. And they end up losing, and I'm not telling you anything you already don't know, 78-72. Why did it happen? Why did it happen? Brad's going to have some numbers, but I'm just going to tell you why it happened. How many times have we said this team has to live with free throw shooting? West Virginia does. First time they play them, they made 28 free throws against Texas Tech. This time they took 9. 9. That's not 9.5. That's 9 in the game. They made 7 out of 9. On the other side, the Texters made 14 out of 19. So they doubled West Virginia at the foul line. That is just one of the big stats, not the only one that led to their loss, but that is a huge difference from game 1 to game 2. Senator.
So let's go back, because, again, the numbers played exactly as we thought the numbers would play. We talked about 4 keys to the game against Texas Tech. Number 1 was get to the line. You said it, but it wasn't just West Virginia that gets to the line a lot. Texas Tech did as well coming in. 86th percentile going against that West Virginia defense that puts teams on the line at an alarming rate. They continue to be one of the worst in the country, West Virginia does, at putting the other team on the line. I've said it a million times. If West Virginia doesn't win the free throw battle, it better do something else extraordinarily well, like Eric Stevens getting 30, or you got no shot. So we could stop right there, but we don't. We'll move on.
But wait, there's more.
We'll go to the second key that we talked about. We talked about making threes, right? 69% three-point rate the first time these two teams met. You had to do a better job of getting closer to the basket on some shots. You did. You made 11 threes in the game, and you did a better job from 3. But what did Texas Tech end up? 6 of 14. That was a far cry from the 3 of 20 that it went in Lubbock. So the making of threes, which of those would come to fruition? That happened. West Virginia still made some, but Texas Tech made enough to hold serve right there. The other part we talked about, hit the offensive glass and keep Texas Tech off the offensive glass. Texas Tech usually keeps you off. West Virginia lost that battle. Not huge, but lost that battle on second chance points. But I thought that right there was glaring in those final 3 minutes. I thought that's where that key really showed up. There was a missed jump shot along the baseline that Mo Wagi just got beat around the outside for a putback. There were some missed blockouts on free throws. I thought West Virginia did a poor job down the stretch when that game was really getting tight, and Texas Tech seemed to want the ball more. They seemed more desperate late. That's where the offensive rebounding key came in. And then number 4 was turnovers. We said Tech was struggling with turnovers. They were one of the bottom 70 teams nationally. You had to take advantage of that and win the turnover battle because they gave it to you, and then you had to protect the ball a little bit. Well, neither one of those happened. Points off turnovers, West Virginia loses that by 8 points and had some absolutely mind-blowing turnovers in that game, guys. I mean, so they had 14, which is not a good number, but I don't know if there were half of them where you went, what the hell just happened? What was that? Who are you throwing that to?
Yeah.
And then a lot of those turned into what you've heard Hugs refer to those live ball turnovers that end up in points. So the 4 keys that we discussed, West Virginia did not do well in any of the 4 categories, turns into what was a bad home loss for that team.
Frontline players played terrible. Forwards and centers shot 6 of 18, 1 out of 3, 33% from the guys that are the closest to the basket. Your guards played well enough. Give me 27 from Stevenson, 20 from Kedrian Johnson. They did their job. Frontline players didn't show in scoring, didn't show in rebounding. Got crushed 39-28 on the glass. Huge disappointment. 2 of the big factors. Pop Isaacs, their freshman guard, only played the first half plus 5 minutes of the second half in Lubbock before he ankled. And when he ankled, he hadn't played since the West Virginia game until Saturday. So he came out just hot. And then the big center, Fardaz Amack, just controlled inside the lane. Good player, didn't play against WVU in the first game. We would have been better off if Daniel Bacho for the Red Raiders played, but now his foot is in a boot, so he didn't even participate. So that's where you are. Texas Tech's got some quality wins here of late. They beat Iowa State. They beat Kansas State. They beat Texas. So, again, as I said, if that's the worst team in the league is super good if that's your worst team, but they may not be the worst team.
Well, I don't think they are. They've played their way back on the bubble.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that was the outlier team, and they've played their way back in. I give them credit. I was hoping from a West Virginia perspective they had quit by the time they came in here, and they simply haven't. They've had a couple good wins. But it's a bad loss for West Virginia, though. That's a game, as we said, everything on the line. I don't know how you come out and get out-hustled to the ball as many times as West Virginia did late in that game.
Infuriating.
All right, move on.
So then we get the 24 hours to Sunday, and that takes you into Oklahoma State last night. And you have really no feel or no idea, okay, what's it going to be? Is this team, have they broke? Was Saturday their breaking point? Were they just going to go out there and not have juice? Well, Oklahoma State comes in. It was the second game in their road trip. They came from Fort Worth to Morgantown. They had gotten beat by 25 on Saturday, 100-75 in Fort Worth. I personally thought that they would have some bang to them, right? I really did. But then the game began, and for the second consecutive game, Caleb Boone, who is their leading scorer, picked up a very quick foul. Bryce Thompson picked up a very quick foul. And after a little seesaw back and forth, West Virginia started to pull away, and they're up 19 at halftime. WVU shoots 47% from the floor in the first half, 40 from three, 4 of 4 at the foul line, and frontline players were playing well. Second half, everyone took like this massive collective deep breath in the Coliseum going like, yeah, man, yeah, I get it. We're up 19, but I still remember we lost an 8-point lead with 8 minutes to go on Saturday. And so everyone was kind of like, and it was really super tense in the second half. Like you were just don't let them get it. And they got it to 13, but I think that was the closest they got. 13 was as close, and then West Virginia goes ahead and wins it 85-67.
I thought Coach Boynton made an interesting comment. He said that West Virginia took the fight out of them early. So in that 16-0 run in the first half, and it just, West Virginia's been on the receiving end of that too. Where the whole game, then you're deflated and you're going to try to battle your way back, and then West Virginia didn't let them back in. I thought that, and also Huggins said that West Virginia it was their best defensive effort. So they did, Tony, after that disappointing loss Saturday, came out with great fight. In that game. I thought one of the interesting developments was after the game where Trey Mitchell said that they noticed on film that Oklahoma State did not double the post when the post got the ball. So, Brad, when that's the case, what do you do?
Well, that's really interesting because we did not talk before the show, right? We've had no conversation.
No conversation.
I had no idea you were going to ask that, nor did I hear that quote after the game. But one of the notes I put in, Hoppy, that goes directly to what you do when you don't double the post, under my Trey Mitchell note, which, by the way, that's Trey Mitchell. That's what you wanted to see, right? The dunk flying through the lane. Quite frankly, getting in the middle of that skirmish, that lit a little bit of fire, that was Trey Mitchell. But here's what I went with today, Hop, to back up your point. They went to Mitchell in the post 8 times. He was single covered in all of those. He averaged 1.5 points per possession. So for reference to that 1.5 points per possession, the only thing West Virginia did on the night that was more efficient offensively was 2 points per possession on 6 putbacks. If you lead the country in points per possession, you're a little over 1 or 1.1. That was a highly efficient area. They couldn't stop Trey Mitchell in the post. They never came to double him. 8 times they kept feeding him and took him. So very good observation by you, Kirschwell.
I was teed up by Mitchell in his post-game interview. Tony, it was old school basketball. Get the guy down on the block, back to the basket, give me the damn ball.
And I'll say one thing real quick. Sorry to interrupt you there. It was a give me the damn ball because he got aggressive when he got the ball.
Yeah.
He was pulling when you play your little brother, your little sister, your little friend, I'm just going to back your ass down. You can't stop me. I'm just going to back straight into you.
Yeah.
You can't stop me.
And he
kept doing that.
He was 8
excellent.
of 15 when they fouled him. He was 6 of 7 from the free throw line. I think best. You saw what he can do when it's a one-on-one matchup. I think best game of the year for him.
Doubt.
I'd like to break down those 8 post-ups because on multiple occasions, I don't know how many, but at least 3 and maybe 5, he had a smaller defender on him that wasn't supposed to be guarding him, right? Because of switches, he had guards on him a couple of times. Put a guard on him, you might as well forget that deal, right?
That's why he kept going, and they didn't adjust to helping that matchup. If you get caught like that, you got to send somebody down to dig, or you're going to get crushed as you did.
Absolutely.
So
right.
2 other things. We talked about 2 keys with Oklahoma State, and I went deeper on SportsLine last night than I did on 3 Guys last time we talked, but there were 2 of them you had to do. One of them was, I said you had to score points on Oklahoma State. That's a team in the Cowboys that's in the 90th percentile defensively on the season. But coming into last night, guys, they were in the 5th percentile over their last 5 games defensively. You referenced them giving up 100 points. So you had to score against them to win. How many did you put up? Put up 85, right? Scored on them. Shot 41% from 3. The second key we talked about, you had to take advantage of Oklahoma State's turnover problems. As bad as Texas Tech was at turning it over, Oak State was worse. They were bottom 40 teams in the country when they turn it over. West Virginia feasted on that Hoppy last night. Not only did they force 18 turnovers, but here was the ball game. West Virginia won points off turnover 28-4.
Yes.
That was ball game right there. So that neutralized the fact that you lost the free throw battle by 5 points, but you got to the line enough to score 20 points, which this was slightly above your average. You're averaging about 22.5% of your points from the free throw line. That got you to 24% of your points last night. So you didn't win the battle, but you got your chunk. Then Stevenson hit some shots. And the thing that you did last night that you haven't always done, you just feasted on those turnovers.
Speaking of free throws, I think the game just ended about 45 minutes ago. But, I mean, I know it only went 2:20, 2 hours and 20 minutes. But, I mean, it seemed longer. There were 59 free throw attempts.
Yeah.
There were Oklahoma State had 18 turnovers, West Virginia 9 or something like that. I mean, there were points in that game, Tony. I don't know if you struggled or not, but
what
just like there was no flow in this game. Just stop, start, stop, foul, 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 foul. Now, I know when you're behind 13, 15, 18 points, you're fouling. I get that, but still, it's just like,
that's
this is painful to watch.
They had to ugly it up. Yeah, they had to ugly it up in the second half. Why not? You just start reaching. You just start to try to press, try to get back into it. But they were unable to cut that, as we said, down into.
But that's West Virginia though. When you're top 10 in free throw attempts yourself, and your bottom 15 teams and putting the other team on the line, that was just another day at the office, Hop. I mean, that's what you get when West Virginia plays because of both sides of that coin.
Well, the good news is, took a lot of foul shots last night, right? And same thing will happen Saturday. They'll just make a parade, probably have a path. You can just see at Allen Fieldhouse to the foul line there. Get a lot of foul shots. I noticed today for the first time that our sunrise and our sunset have moved to the point where we're now past 6 p.m.
You mean the days are getting longer?
6 p.m. now. We're at 6:02 sunset today. So we're making progress. And with sunshine, ladies and gentlemen, comes spring. And with spring comes the budding of bushes and the blossoming of flowers. And it'll be travel time. And when it comes time to travel, if you are one that likes to go into the outdoors and camp, well, Burdett Camping Center. They are the premier recreational vehicle dealership in the state of West Virginia. Why do I say that?
Why?
Well, because they're the only dealer that gives you a warranty forever. You buy it from Burdett, and it lasts forever when it comes to the warranty. Check them out. They're in Winfield at burdettcamping.com. That's burdettcamping.com. Three Guys also brought to us by Comax Business Systems, West Virginia's business data. Safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. They have got you covered. Many of their clients as of today are the ones that were with them when they started the business 3 decades ago. And their digital phone systems competitively priced, among the most efficient technology available today, which means you'll ultimately save money. Free quote. Just call Comax. They'll come in and give you a free quote on your digital phone system. Whatever works for you. You can buy it, you can lease it, you can rent it. All options available. From one phone line to 1,000. They will provide the phone systems that are best for you. Check them out at ComaxWV.com. Hit it! We begin not with a text, but with a shout out to the fine folks at Independence High School. This past December, they won the Football World Championship here in West Virginia, and our buddy Randy Hunt, who's the voice of the Patriots, sent us this commemorative coffee mug.
The world champion coffee mug?
Yeah, Independence Patriots, undefeated, lined up. Beat them all, 2022 world champions.
Is there a smiling picture of Judah Price on the inside of the cup so when you finish your coffee you see Judah?
Probably in there.
State record.
So congratulations.
7,000 yards in the championship game, something like that, give or take.
7,200.
206.
Player of the year, right?
So thanks, Randy. Congratulations to the Patriots of Independence High School. Also, quick shout out here. Friend of the program. You had Lena on last night, right?
Yeah, we did. Lena Elkins.
Lena Elkins.
Formerly of Nitro.
high school. Remember her, Hoppy, from Nitro High School, won the state world championship?
Yes.
She
On
goes
the same day, she pitched a no-hitter over the number one team, hit a walk-off home run, hopped in the police car, drove to the Civic Center, had a season high. They won the state championship.
She's a freshman at Charlotte.
Like Dion.
She's a
like
freshman at Charlotte.
Yeah, freshman at Charlotte.
Threw a no-hitter.
Oh,
In her second career start.
Outstanding.
All lined up through a no-no.
Who's the young lady? Do you have the name? And I shouldn't do this to you. From Shady Spring. Did you see she threw a no-no for Penn State?
Also a friend of the
we
program.
had her on the program, too. Taylor will get that to us. Taylor, text me that, please.
Hey, before I go, I had a friend of the program, too. Corey Bliss.
Oh, yeah. I know Corey.
You know Corey
Sure.
Bliss?
Yeah.
He stopped by to see me at the state's capitol, and we got to talking. Big basketball fan. Brought in for his kid's birthday or something. Brought in Gabe Osaboyan. Brought him to the house.
What do you mean he did?
Brought
What?
Gabe Osaboyan to the house. Brought him to the house.
That was during the year of Gabe, when Gabe was everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, literally everywhere.
Yeah.
Got an email here. He says, from Corey in Washington, I don't know what's harder to predict, how this team will play or to find a Kercheval. I tried 2 locations at opposite ends of the state last week, and I was laughed at twice. And told each location sold out within 12 hours. Asking a question no one wants to answer, but yes or no, 6-12 and 1 Big 12 tournament win gets you in. As always, I love the show.
Hey, can I be excused?
No, you have 4 minutes. You stay right there.
All right.
Here, put that video up of Corey's kid. So I think he's dedicated this to Hoppy, I think.
It's a nice court.
Oh, yeah, that's at his house.
We'll get shots up there.
Listen. There you go, man. Thank you very much. Nice to have him. Texter. I see you guys are really expanding the business down here in Lexington, Kentucky. Looks like this has Hoppy's mitts all over it. I wanted to let Brad, 3 guys vaping tobacco shop.
Well, I'm going to send a letter, cease and desist, with our logo.
We don't condone that. We do not condone
They might send one to us.
the stealing of our logo. Vaping tobacco. I'm sure they got a lot of nice products in there. Sure they do.
I mean, our name came about extensive research and collaboration. I mean, you're wearing it on your shirt.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I do. Hoppy, you can be dismissed. Thank you for your participation.
Sorry, I got to go, but good to see you.
I understand. We'll chat with you later. Good to have you. You're going on Thursday, huh?
Yeah, I'll be coming. I'll be at State's Capitol.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
And the Flatwoods Go-Mart.
Good to have you. Anyway, David Saab, who wrote the most recent song, Spreads. What was the name of the song? It's what was it? Spreads on.
Spreads on Stats?
Yeah, Spreads on Stats. Anyway, he said, I want you to know, Brad, the convoluted numbers in the text of the songs, the lyric, was just to poke fun. Spreads has the best numbers in the game. Also, the closest Buc-ee's to you guys, actually in Kentucky. It's just south of Lexington. Now let's beat Kansas. Forget about the bubble. Cheers, David. Texter. Hey, 3 guys. First-time texter. Tony, sorry to disagree with a top self-food critic such as yourself, but in 2016, my daughter sang with the Appalachian Children's Choir, which had a tour in Italy. First meal in Venice, and attached is the meatballs we had on the square of St. Michael's. Thank you for all you guys do, Mike and Dunbar.
Wait, what?
Well,
That's in Italy?
In Italy, correct.
Now,
There's 2 meatballs off to the right side, and he's got pasta to the left.
I was told there are not I was not told, I was laughed at, saying there were no meatballs in Italy. So Mike's saying he was in Italy and had meatballs.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal. What I said was Italians don't eat meatballs. So why are there meatballs on that plate in Venice? Is he in Florence or is he in Venice? Where was he? Where did he say he was? He's in Venice. Okay, fine. So there he is. There's my man and his daughter. So what goes to Venice? Tourists. Where are the tourists oftentimes from?
Stop it.
America.
It's not what you said. You said they don't have meatballs in Italy.
I don't think that was
don't eat. No, both you and Adrian on here, giggle, laugh, don't have meatballs.
Oh, Nate lives there.
Thank you, Mike.
Nate lives there. Basically,
Mike was there, so I had meatballs.
Mike, they were pandering to the Americans. You go in Italy, and like Italians go like, what?
Nice try. Take the L. Move on.
Texter, I received some gifts on Saturday after the game. Tony, my brother gave you the keychains after the game. Here's the story behind them. I'm currently a freshman at WVU Potomac State. I'm a SAGE major. SAGE stands for Sustainable Agriculture Entrepreneurship. With that, students have access to the SAGE Innovation Lab, where there is a lot of tools for students to learn how to use, such as welders, CNC milling machine, and my favorite thing to use, the laser printer. I have made many keychains, wood veneer stickers, and other items on the printer. My family, big Three Guys fans, I decided I was going to make you guys some keychains for your gate keys when you buy land in West Virginia. There you go, Brad. Hope you like them. Let's go Mountaineers. James via Kaiser via Grafton.
Oh, look at that.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so there they are. I got one right here. There's Hoppies. Very, very well done, and we appreciate that greatly. Thank you so very much, and I think we would use those for our...
Thanks, James.
Awesome.
I'll put that right on.
Yeah. Texter, what's up, boys? Hopefully all well in Three Guys land, and your sponsor, Gomart, hasn't been too upset considering you spent a good portion of your last show gushing over Buc-ee's. This portion of the show also came directly after the Gomart promotion. It was kind of like someone saying, hey, did you listen to Tony's call to the Mountaineers last night? And then someone responds with, yeah, he's really good, but after the game I listened to Joe Buck, and man, is he amazing. Or someone saying, hey, did you see that play Spreads pulled off last night against the under? And then someone responding, yeah, but holy cow, what about Mattress Mac pulled off? That dude's a baller.
Good Mattress
Get
Mac
what he's
reference.
saying. And lastly, did you hear the commentary Hoppy had about the toxic rail disaster? And someone replying, yeah, but I saw a follow-up piece with Chris Wallace that blew the lid off the story and really opened my eyes. Just throwing you all a little heater. Go for the good times. Go for Gomart. Well, you know where our heart is. Sign the Greenbrier Ghost. This is an interesting story here. Guys, I have been to Key West, Florida 3 times. Just 3. And my wife and I love it here. But every time we come, Mountaineers lose. Let's go back in history. January 1, 2004. I'm wearing my number 3 jersey to support my Weir High classmate Quincy Wilson. Mountaineers get absolutely spanked. The loss was made worse by my wife, who told me that it was, quote, just football, and that I needed to enjoy her birthday on our honeymoon and quit worrying so much about the kids playing football. I'll spare you the details, but that fight proceeded to be epic. 2021, so 17 years later, he goes back down to Key West, celebrates my wife's...
They're still married?
Yeah.
After that exchange?
Yeah.
Because she probably had a pretty good point there.
Solid.
The wife did.
Yeah. In 2021, we decided to go back to Key West, celebrate my wife's 40th birthday and our 18th wedding anniversary, hoping to redeem our time there. Well, we flew to Miami, drove down US 1 through the Keys, listening to Tony broadcast the world champion Mountaineers play hoops against Oklahoma. Well, not only did we face terrible traffic, but the Mountaineers made an amazing comeback only to lose. I don't know what I was more pissed about, the insane traffic or the loss, but I was in a bad mood. So this morning, we're back in beautiful Key West. I told my wife that we shouldn't even watch. This is Saturday. I was afraid this game ruining what has been a very refreshing vacation. Her response was that she knew who she married and that I wouldn't be able to stay away, so there we sat, on bar stools, at Sloppy Joe's, eating wings, Sloppy Joe's, and drinking Yingling, since Kercheval hasn't made it across the state line yet. I kindly had the manager get the TV turned on to ESPNU, only to be forced to watch a marathon softball game instead of the first half. But a 1-point lead at halftime got my hopes up. We know how the story ends. As I paid our tab, I looked at my gorgeous bride of nearly 20 years, chuckled, and says, quote, just basketball. So on the bright side, at 41 years, I'm significantly more emotionally mature, or maybe I've just lowered my expectations. In either case, I think this season will go down as one that could have been good, but the team simply couldn't come together and find a way to win close. Oh well, off to see the best sunset on planet Earth, Matt in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I'm glad he came around, but the real MVP of that story is his wife.
Sticking with
For
him.
sticking him through 2 outbursts like that on vacation.
She should have dumped him.
By the way, that was disappointing. Louisiana scored 2 in the bottom of the 6th there when UCLA was about to close it out, prolong that game. Matt, with you, know exactly what you're talking about, was dialed in as well.
Did you have a ticket on it?
I did not, but I just wanted Louisiana to go down quietly and get out of the way.
Brian from Williamstown checks in. I've been out of town at our national convention in Denver, for the National Association of School Psychologists. So I've missed the last few games, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately. Anyways, 2 stories to share. First is the fact that I couldn't tell you how many people I met in Denver who saw me in my West Virginia gear who yelled out, "Let's go Mountaineers," or said something to me about being from or near West Virginia. Always the connection. The second story I am beyond proud of. I'm not sure if this text will be read before the game Monday against the Cowboys or not, but my first cousin, Billy Gatens, is one of the 4 finalists. Bailey Gatens is one of the 4 finalists to be the Mountaineer mascot, regardless if she wins or loses. She makes us all so proud. She's been wanting to be a Mountaineer since she was a little kid. Little picture there since she was a little teeny tot. How about that? Darn proud to be a Mountaineer today. Awesome. Congratulations for the opportunity to do that. I think they're going to announce it the next game. Last game of the year.
last home game, yeah. Because that was the cheer-off when all 4 get a part of the game to go around and try it out. It's the last part of the tryout process there, Tony, of course.
I noticed
through the interview.
I saw a picture yesterday of the 4 contestants, and they all have 4 buckskin. They all have the buckskins on. So, do they have, a closet for the tryout buckskins?
No, unless that's changed.
Where do they come
but that
from?
was we did make a significant investment in that when I was there
Just for the
upgrade,
tryouts?
No, not for the tryouts, to upgrade the Mountaineers outfit.
What do you mean by
for a long time it was 1 buckskin.
Huh?
They had 1 outfit.
They sweating that thing all the time? He had 1?
Yeah. I went in and said, we're done with that. Can't have 1.
Imagine that thing should be you should have Elvis with all those things that he had in a closet.
Yes.
Or Liberace.
Yes.
All those things in a closet.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I just dated the living hell out of myself going Elvis and Liberace.
An unusual 2 there for you. Unusual 2 for the podcast. Probably younger listeners have no idea what just happened.
Oh, boy. Texter. Oh, boy, this is another one. We had some issues with Evan in Iowa.
Is he back? Is he back?
Tony, no repair of our relationship is needed. I have no issues with you, and again, have engaged all in good fun. My son and I had the opportunity to meet you and Brad 4 years ago when you came to Morgantown for his 10th birthday, when we were in Morgantown. You both were very kind. You even interviewed him on Sportsline. You have both built up far too much capital to let something as small as a disagreement over excellent rhyme and meter do any real damage. Much love, Evan in Iowa. I don't know where Evan is in Iowa, but of course I'm going to be there this weekend. Maybe he'll come over and say hello at Iowa State next Monday.
Well, we need to find out because remember, we got a big listener in Iowa City, Tommy. Tommy in Iowa City, big listener. Doesn't text, but big listener.
You know what else? Jumpin' Jack.
Yeah.
Man, he must be really into the books this semester because he has not been since Christmas time.
Well, plus he's doing a lot of broadcasting too.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yeah, I mean, he's busy.
Hope he's still listening.
I think he's listening.
Yeah.
Just busy.
Hello, Jack. Texter. This is the texter, formerly known as P1 Jason in Dallas. I am now, he's kind of changing his name like Prince did.
What?
I am now P1 Jason in Tulsa.
Well, he hit the portal?
Apparently.
He went into the life portal?
Yeah, it looks like it. Hey, guys, I'm up here in Golden Hurricane territory now. Already set up on my new golf club, even though the membership director is a Sooner. With all the talk about crushing food recently, I figured I'd share my Chick-fil-A order since a coworker found it questionable. So this is what he ordered at Chick-fil-A. 4-piece chicken strip with barbecue sauce and hot sauce. He's fine there. Side of macaroni and cheese, or subbed in macaroni and cheese for the fries.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay. I add on a chicken sandwich. I tell him to take the pickles off, but add bacon.
Oh, that's a veteran move.
Then I get cookies and a cream milkshake instead of a soft drink.
Cookies and cream milkshake.
Yep, that's what I said. Boy, I'm doing a great job reading today. Then I get a cookies and cream milkshake instead of a soft drink. The coworker found it questionable because that is almost 2,000 calories, which according to the USDA is a day's worth. I don't subscribe to that theory. I would say it's okay, Jason, what you're doing there, but you probably got about 150 more for the rest of the day. If you crush another meal, you're going to be like 4,000. And with your leg situation, you're not going to be moving all that much. I'd be careful there. He closes by saying, great win against the Stillwaters. Was amusing to hear that Jay Jacobs admit he's been under a few tables in his career. Got to play the hand you're dealt, and for some people, getting under the table is the only way to have a career. Love the show. P.S. Fardaz Amack making 10 free throws in a row as a 33% shooter was .001531158 or 1 out of 65,292. That would have been a great prop bet.
Good point. Chick-fil-A mac and cheese is good. You ever had it?
I like the way he just kind of like makes everything like he customizes, right?
The bacon in there is good.
Yeah.
I need those waffle fries are a staple, though. They have to be in there for me.
So, yeah, with him, so he lives in Tulsa, so maybe we'll see him when we play Oak State in the future. Texter, okay, sometimes I feel like Charlie Brown and the men's basketball team is Lucy holding the ball saying, go ahead, kick it, and I won't move it this time. My mind is saying, look how they handled Oklahoma State. Maybe they could take on Iowa State and K-State. Maybe it's coming together. Nope. I'm not falling for it again. No name. Texter. Eric from Mountain Table in Rennick, West Virginia, here with a question. I've been to Rennick. You know how you get to Rennick? Go through Summersville. Take the left, like you're going to Nettie and Charmco.
Yeah.
And at that Go-Mart, there, when you take the right.
Yeah.
Don't
go straight?
Don't take the right. Go straight and brings you right into Rennick.
Huh. Was I there with you?
I don't think
so. Was
so.
that on our trip?
No, I have never went to Rennick with you. Anyway, Eric says, I was at the Oklahoma State game Monday night. I found it quite confusing when after shooting 2 free throws, they allowed the Oklahoma State player to shoot 2 more. What did I miss from up in the stands? Okay, very good question. So here's what you had. You had an Oklahoma State player shoot that ball from the far sideline, and a foul was called in the attempt of a 3-point shot. So he gets 3 free throws. Now, I know you're screaming at me right now saying he didn't foul, and I know he didn't foul, but anyway, it's a missed call. But nevertheless, he's still going to get 3 free throws. So he shoots the first. When he shoots the second of the 3, West Virginia commits a lane violation. So he missed it. So they wave that off and say, do it again. So his third attempt was actually the second, and then he shot it again for his third. So it looked as though he was getting 4 foul shots, but actually there was a lane violation on 2.
That was not ideal communication there, in my opinion.
It wasn't really clearly brought out. So there you go. Texter, if the Myrtle Beach episode happens, could you announce it a couple of weeks ahead of time, if possible, along with some land in Monroe County? My family owns a condo down there, of course, but I have to plan trips to work. So still waiting for the beer in Princeton, multiple beer places here. FYI, I'm sure they'd love to sell it. Thanks, guys. Love the show. Joey in Princeton.
That's another good one. Family owns a condo in Myrtle. That's a good one. That's not land, but that's a good one.
Hey, make a note to yourself there. If we do something in Myrtle, make sure we announce it at least 2 weeks ahead of time so he can get the condo set.
That's a good one, Joey.
Texter, Scope Spreads Hopster. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Mitch from Buchanan reporting in about the much-renowned beer known as Kirchhoff. Rumors spread quickly that the elusive beer made it to the tap at Stone Tower Brews in Buchanan, and let me tell you, it was gone before many could enjoy. Thankfully, I got some, and it was definitely worth the wait. While I was waiting for my growlers to get filled, I sat down to enjoy a glass. The people beside me took notice after the next customers in line also ordered it. This started a conversation among myself, the server, and the other patrons regarding what's all the hype here. I gave a quick spiel, and everyone seemed impressed. Come to find out, the couple behind me had driven over from Elkins, and lo and behold, he was the son of former Buchanan Upshur Greathead football coach Granville Zopp, who my dad played with in the 70s. We had a great talk, and he had remembered hearing my text read on this show. So I'm going to assume that upgrades me to P1 texter status since I've been recognized, but I digress. So he must have been talking to Cam Zopp.
That's great.
So Cam, former Mountaineer, my first year here, 1984, I remember Cam Zopp, might have been a season opener, recovered a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. By the way, he closes by saying this
now
beer.
They're sharing a Kirchhoff Ale in Bridgeport.
Yeah. He says, the beer is awesome. Thanks for efforting it. I've got some ideas for the next one. Also, I own a small piece of land in southern Upshur County with all the males of my family.
Yep.
It's a camp hunting land, and I own the mineral rights of my old property in Kingwood.
Of course.
There he is. There it is at Stone Tower Brews in Buchanan, and there he is, drinking a Kirchhoff Ale.
Awesome.
Yeah. The Stone Tower Brews now among over 30 locations in the state where you can get Hoppy's beer. And Stone Tower Brews also coming to Morgantown. They're going to be opening up this spring. So happy to have those guys in the vicinity. Look forward to that. Texter. Anyway, I'm not sure if Brad saw this, but it looks like Reese's is upping their game. I saw this the other day in the store. While taking the picture, my wife asks me, who are you sending that to? I said, 3 guys. In the store, she says, yeah, what 3 guys? She says, at that point, I had to change a chance to engage my internal Abbott and Costello, and I answered, yes, exactly. My wife did not see the humor, did not get my who's on first reference. Just when I thought I was having a chance to go full-blown routine, she staggered me with her next comment. 3 guys? It's more like 3 idiots knowing you. I responded without really thinking about her statement. Oh, you have seen the show? Then it hit me. She just called you guys idiots. After a roll of the eyes in silence, the disappointment and heartbrokenness started to overtake me. Placed there by her sheer stark bluntness, I was taken back for a while. I sit there in my car quietly replaying and digesting her comment. Are they idiots? Am I an idiot? What is an idiot? Are all men idiots? I finally stabilized myself by remembering an old saying I had heard, ignorance is bliss, and the day was made whole again. Also, Scopes, I've attached a link for you below. I mean, if you're serious about this auctioneering gig, get some higher learning. I figured with online courses, you could study wherever you are, whether at halftime of a game, traveling to an away site, or pounding a catered buffet underneath a bleacher somewhere. Thanks again, you 3 bliss boys. There it is. So he sent me the link to the Western College auctioneering site. And I've also received a text inquiry if I'm serious about becoming an auctioneer, that they would facilitate my training.
Huh. You gonna take them up on that?
We'll see. Depends on how things go after the season's over.
You know, one thing here, though, with Fitty's wife, which she definitely was calling us idiots, but also I don't know that he should let himself off the hook there. Because change your inflection on how you're reading that there. That's line. She says, 3 guys? It's more like 3 idiots knowing you. So she kind of went at him as well. I mean, I don't know that we should be singled out as the only idiots in that conversation.
I don't think she likes
Which I think he knew.
I don't think she likes him. I don't think she likes us. I don't think she likes him, probably.
I mean, I'm not saying she's wrong, but
I get it.
We are idiots at times.
Yeah. Shout out to Gomart for the Reese's. Scope, Spreads, Hoppy. I, like so many others, am a longtime listener of this. I get a kick out of your commentary and must give you credit for the entertainment value. However, here comes a heater. I need to bring a pressing issue to your attention. It's time to recognize Hoppy for the improvement of his social skills. I have been under the rotunda a handful of times this year, and the line to talk to the dean is longer than the one for the buckwheat cakes. Even though he's only a part-time host, we've got to give credit where credit is due. Hoppy is a real man of the people. Signed by AJ in Morgantown. Well, that's great. Wish he was here to receive those accolades, but obviously he ran on us.
Fair point. I received a text from somebody that also ran into Hoppy in the wild, as it was described to me, not in Charleston, another part of the state, said he was very accommodating and social.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't distant and aloof.
No, was not.
As usual. Hey, can you do me a favor for our listeners out there? Put a couple notes. I have 2 notes, 3 notes I wrote down, things to make sure I don't forget to say. If you're a regular listener, you know the cost for listening to this program is really good, free. All I'm going to ask you is if you're watching on YouTube's, please hit the subscribe button. That helps us. Doesn't make us any more money, but it helps us in our growth as far as our algorithm goes, and that's what we're trying to do, is just increase listeners, viewers. And then if you're a podcast listener, wherever it is that you listen, most of you are on Apple. Over 80% are listening off of Apple. Please give us a subscribe. Don't be worried with the word subscribe. It doesn't mean it costs anything. It's just, again, helps us out. Update, the young lady from Shady that is at Penn State is Paige Maynard. Paige Maynard was the softball pitcher. So congratulations to her. Fantastic.
That's
So
pretty
you got two
impressive
girls,
for both
you got two
Paige
girls
and
from
Lena.
West Virginia throwing no-nos.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see here. Texter. I know y'all talk about people watching the podcast on YouTube, but I always watch it on the Metro News site. Is it better for you guys in terms of clicks, views, subscribers, etc., if I were to watch it on YouTube instead? Thanks for your very thoughtful question. The answer is it absolutely doesn't matter at all. Zero. Wherever it is that best for you is great for us. You know, the world of how distribution works is changing so dramatically that now it's just get it to ears and eyes. So whatever works for you, cool with us, but the best you could do is, hit us up with a subscription there. That'd be great. Texter, let Brad know it is not about eating an elephant. We have an elephant of an issue to overcome, and the only way we can overcome is take one bite at a time and just focus on one bite. In other words, one game at a time. So they're not saying you figuratively eat the elephant. It's just it's a phrase.
Even though that's what it says.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The best way to eat an elephant is the phrase, right?
One bite at a time. So just piece by piece. They could say piece by piece and take the elephant out of the equation.
We could just not say eat an elephant if we're not talking about eating an elephant.
It's easier to remember, though. Texter.
Kind of weird.
Yeah. Texter, hello. Having recently moved to New Jersey, I appreciate this pod because it makes me feel closer to West Virginia. I was Can you imagine if we did edit this thing after it was over? How much cleanup I'd have to do on this thing? I was excited to hear recent episodes mention two places worth checking out near my new home. So on this past Saturday morning before 2 weeks ago, Saturday morning before the Texas game, my fiance and I trained into New York City for an unofficial 3 guys before the game outing. So they listened to what we said to do in the city. Here was the plan. Watch the Texas game at the West Virginia bar recently mentioned, Jack Doyle's. Then walk over to Al Antico Venaio for one of those delicious, gigantic, square Italian sandwiches. That's the shop recently discussed with our buddy Nathan over in Italy. Little did I know this unofficial 3 guys outing held an unexpected surprise. We arrived at the bar at tip-off. Turns out there's an event being hosted by WVU's business school. As I sit down with my beer, I scan the small crowd of gold and blue, and what do you know? That's a 3 guys guest and about 4 feet away from us. It was Casey Legg. We chatted for a while during the game. Great kid. He even pointed out one of his teammates, Jared Bartlett, wearing an unreleased 3 guys hat.
There we go, Jared. That a boy. I like that.
Are people supposed to know that stuff's...
Well, I don't know, but it's out. Jared was wearing it, so it's out.
He says the game itself stunk, but the Italian sandwiches afterward lived up to the hype. Thanks for a great WVU outing on a winter Saturday in the middle of Manhattan, Justin in Jersey.
That's a good one, Justin. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. And thanks to Jared for wearing the 3 guys hat. So we've had a hat now in the city, and we had a hat at the Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
Next up.
And the hats aren't even released yet. They've been in those 2 locations.
I know.
Wait till they're released.
Johnny in Richmond via Pocahontas County. Last episode, when Brad and Tony were doing the rambling promo shenanigans on Burdett's history of RV and pre-industrial wagon sales, got me thinking. Did Oklahoma's Sooners purchase their wagon from Burdett? Because if they did not, I'll bet you wish they did, and had a lifetime warranty based on that high rollover risk. There's no question about that, right?
Good point. Did go down during the West Virginia game.
I mean, we'll check. Could you make a call to Phil and see if on that ledger that they have of RVs forever under guarantee, if the Oklahoma Sooner wagon was one of the very first.
Customer from Norman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Phil, did you deliver anything to Norman? When? Hey, 1870 or something like that. A texter said, hey, heads up, your Twitter account is suspended.
Huh?
Yeah, what happened was we started the Twitter account, and as I said on the last episode, I believe, the G in guys has to be capitalized. So apparently someone has a small case G. So when you go to Twitter, it needs to be the number 3, the G capitalized, then UYS _. I think that's resolved now. Jameson's been working on that. She's terrific.
Terrific.
Yeah. Texter. Not sure if an in-pod listening text has been noted before, but this is one. It may not make the cut for Tuesday due to the mass euphoria after a pair of wins or a Mountaineer Nation therapy session after one, or perish the thought 2 losses anyway. This pessimism that is permeating this pod is pestiferious. Special thanks to Google for allowing me to rock that alliteration. This notation that there won't be an 800th show is an unwelcome theme. Tony with a Y was the first to float this ridiculousness. Now Brad, don't mention the Mothman anymore, has not only doubled down on this heresy, but has octupulted down or more, which has him very close to a nattering nabob of negativity classification. No need for Google there. So either he likes being a wet blanket, or he has a business plan in the works to hit the road with his newly repaired mower to landscape Morgantown while wearing a husky suit and trim tall trees with a remote control blimp. But seriously, if you were told at episode 4 that there would be an episode 444, you would have doubted that as well. As an aside, ask Jeff Jenkins about his Beast of the East towel back in his prehistoric days. It was a classic. Signed by Sean and Raleigh. There's a lot there to unload.
I'm not trying to be negative, just trying to tell you what's coming.
Or not coming.
Or not coming, as the case may be.
Next text is interesting.
Not a bad idea with the lawn care business, though.
Huh?
That's not a bad idea for the lawn care business.
Yes.
Because John and Jason, the repair guys that came and fixed that, that extensive problem I had, had to bring in the professionals. They do build race cars.
I know.
So they soup that thing up. So what normally takes 30, I can be done in about 13
seconds.
Get 2 in.
I talked to them after the game Saturday. So when you guys start racing? They got one schedule. They're waiting.
Soon.
They
I think the first one's in Florida for them.
They got one schedule. They're waiting for another one. I mean, I asked them how many horsepower. Did you ask them how many horsepower?
I did, but I don't remember the answer. What is it?
Over 2,000?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think they told me 106 miles per hour in 2 seconds.
Something like that.
I think is what it was.
I don't know what it is.
We'll get some video of it. When they get to that first race, I want to get some video of it and put it back up there. It really is remarkable. Jason's like an 18-time national champion in that thing.
Wow. Hey, this is interesting here. This starts off with JW from Winfield. Was this Jim in Winfield last time that bashed you over your glasses? Now he's going with a name check?
It was Jim in Winfield, I believe. That's right.
Yeah, but now he's coming in as
He's
JW.
Back.
Is it him? Is it not him?
Good
That's
question.
the question. Anyway, he says WVU basketball should consider the addition of a psychologist, maybe an athlete-specific psychologist, to work with our players individually or both in the offseason. Commonplace for players to come in the season with a ton of confidence, but that can spiral in a slump. Internet troll fan base, grind of travel, away conference games. Having someone who just works with each player on their mental health could be just as beneficial as the athletic trainer who keep their bodies healthy. Pro athletes use them all the time. This could be an additional pitch for recruits. You know where I stand on that. If you're a regular, you know where I'm at that. Like, if it was up to me, yes. Remember a couple episodes ago I told you the gentleman running Moody Center was a Morgantown grad?
Mm-hmm. Moody Center down in Texas, the new building.
Correct. Texter says, Jeff Nickler was my youth swim coach. Great guy, not surprising he's doing big things. So apparently Jeff was a swim coach in a past time.
That was well written, too, because if you notice, they said, not surprising he's doing big things at Moody Center.
Didn't say the.
Didn't say the.
Yeah.
Which is in their brand manual, right?
Brand
you can't say the.
Yeah.
It's not the Moody Center.
Moody Center.
So you should never say the Moody Center.
Mm-mm.
It's just Moody Center. Even though that can be awkward at times when you're trying to say it.
What if the Moody Blues played at Moody Center? A lot of moodiness going on there.
Double
right?
Moody.
Texter, can we get some of that sweet Three Guys Adidas swag Spreads on Stats was wearing on episode 443? I love the show.
I think you've got some on now, don't you? I wore the navy blue with the gold logo. You have the gray with the gold logo.
Yeah.
Efforting?
Yeah, efforting is the best way to say it. Yes. Everyone, I shouldn't say everyone, but like we all just puke ourselves in Nike, right? Like we're just bathed in Nike all the time. I kind of like wearing an off piece here or there, like an Adidas, a Hoka. I haven't found anything yet Puma wise, but those are my old school. When I was a young kid, that's what I started off in.
The pullover you have on and the one I wore on the last episode, they're very nice.
Oh yeah, this is good, man.
Great.
Very nice.
Important note there too. The collar, it's a good collar for a quarter zip because it stands up. It's a little firm there. It doesn't flop on you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it when the collar flops.
No. Texter, Fernando checking in from a basement speakeasy on Grant Avenue. Oh, I like this. We have Hoppy Kercheval's available if you know the password. Jokes aside, I'd like to know what chain, fast food, fast casual, or sit-down restaurant from another Big 12 or old Big East town that you would like to see in Morgantown. Well, we see a lot of In-N-Out Burger on the Big 12 road. And I think that would probably really get a tremendous amount of support if that came this way. Wouldn't you think?
My favorite, you know what my favorite's going to be, but I don't think it would be my favorite if it was here in Morgantown. I think part of it was the experience of going.
What is it?
Carmine's in New York City.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Got to have a lot of
That
people.
was our favorite.
Got to have a lot of people to do that, though. You got to have a big demo.
Yeah. We've been there before when it's just a couple. It's not the same experience. The more you have, the better.
Yeah.
What's that big dessert they have that we'd always get?
Titanic. Did I tell you I made the broccoli with sausage the other?
Yeah, you did tell me. Was it good?
Yeah,
Did you hit it just like theirs?
Mm-hmm.
That was always a staple.
That was good. Yep. Greg from Rock.
Now they have good meatballs there. Now, sometimes we didn't order the meatballs because we get bolognese sauce. Do you need both bolognese and meatballs?
The waiters would say, basically the guy, and that wasn't me that ordered, but we were with the guy that would try to order.
Got combative.
And he got combative every time the waiter would say, wait a second, you don't need the meatballs if you're getting bolognese sauce. I mean, you might as well start it off doggone World War IX. That just got combative.
It did get combative, but I will say this. I was actually on the side. Obviously, my love for meatballs well documented on this program. I was with the orderer that was with us. We wanted bolognese and we wanted a side of meatballs.
Mm-hmm. Fine.
I thought the waiter was out of line.
Yeah, I thought so, maybe too. Texter, Greg from Rock Hill, South Carolina via Vienna. I'm assuming Vienna, West Virginia.
I would think.
Thanks for reading my first text a couple of episodes ago. I'm glad I got it in before the new text reading bylaws went into effect. Efforting to get this one read, so no poem, but I will compliment Brad on his head shape to reading glasses ratio.
Thank you.
Good news for Mountaineer Nation. There is a Buc-ee's on the way to the West Virginia Riviera, Myrtle Beach. Brand new Buc-ee's in Florence, South Carolina. I discovered it on our way to the beach a month ago. Stopped in again on the way home. It is a religious cult-like experience. If Hoppy couldn't figure out the Go-Mart in Flatwoods, he'd end up in a fetal position sucking his thumb at this Buc-ee's. A little bit too big for Hoppy. Finally, I got my hands on a Kercheval Friday night at the West Virginia Brick Oven Bistro in Cross Lanes. A really delicious beer. There it is. Well, that does
Was
look
that
good.
like in a mason jar?
Yeah, really good. Signed by Justin, not Porter and Polka. Texter.
Very nice, Justin.
Dear Three Guys seems to be a competitor in the craft beer wars. Are we in a war?
I don't know.
Hoppy Kercheval has a very formidable challenger that the Senator is not going to like. The Mothman Black IPA. There it is. Hopefully Taylor can get his act together and be able to show this. Signed by Matt Martinsburg. Took a shot at Taylor. Well, that's a good picture.
Nice picture.
Texter. Gents, I enjoyed a walk down memory lane of TC's first calls, Amos Zeraway's touchdown scampers, and the Beast of the East. I'd like to get some help here with a fading 90s memory as a lad in St. Albans watching West Virginia basketball. Who wore the one-sleeve undershirt? I think it may have been P.G. Green or Zane Shaw, but I'm 100% not certain. Thanks, fellas. Andy and Amarillo. It was Zane Shaw. Zane Shaw was the first to rock a half a sleeve.
And here's
he
the
was
thing.
so far ahead of the game, it ain't even close.
Well, not only ahead of the game, that was work back then. I mean, you had to actually cut the shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Now those shooting sleeves come, you're fine, they're easy. You get all sweaty or dirty, get another one because it's unlimited gear down in those equipment rooms. Back then, who was it, Zane Shaw?
Zane Shaw.
I mean, trying to get multiple shirts from Bubba back then that you could cut up, that wasn't happening.
Sure. No, Zane Shaw was way ahead. Like, way ahead. Like, Zane Shaw was so ahead. Like, Zane Shaw was to cutting a sleeve as UNLV was to pre-NIL payments. Right? That's fair? I think so. Texter, forgetting their record, Texas Tech is the best team we've played this year. Okay? Texter, please give me a reason to be positive about WVU athletics. Last night. That had to put a smile on your face. We'll be all right. Here's the real answer to that, man. I know we're in a valley, but in the history of WVU sports, we've lived on top of the mountain a lot more than we've been in the valley. So hang in there. We're going to climb out. We'll be back. Texter, Mark in Tampa. Following the disappointment of Saturday, here's my question. This is
a good one. This is an unanswerable question, which makes it one of the greats.
Would you rather go to the NCAA and lose in the first round or go to the NIT and win at least 3? Which helps you more for the 23-24 season? Okay, let's answer the last part of that first. Which helps you more for the 23-24 season? Nowadays, with rosters on Etch-a-Sketches, doesn't matter one way or the other. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter anyway. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Brett and I always have the same answer. We were involved when West Virginia won the NIT, and that was super fun. I mean,
like way fun. Way up my list of fun things I've got to do in athletics.
Absolutely, it was super fun. However, that only becomes an alternative if you can't get to the NCAA. So my answer is always NCAA first. But if that doesn't happen, then go NIT. But if you're going to go to the NIT, win the thing. The NIT is no fun if you don't win the whole thing. By the way,
we've had multiple runs. That year when we played down in Reynolds Coliseum against NC State, that's way up my list.
Yeah. Really?
That year we went to Minnesota for the first round of the NCAA tournament, and the plane was terrible. We got in. That trip sucked. Lined up, Dayton beat us in the noon start.
Beat us by, I think,
11 a.m. Central Time there.
I think did they win by 209 points?
That sucked.
Oh, it was
felt like you were out of the tournament before it started. I mean, the first round loss is bad.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to NCAA, Mark. Thank you for listening.
I might go NIT rather than a first round exit.
Okay.
First round exit's a blow. Don't like it.
What if you play in that first that play-in thing? What's that called?
The first 4 in Dayton.
First 4.
That'd really be bad.
Yeah. Texter.
But if you win it, you get a little bonus. Then see, that's kind of nice though. You're out in front of the thing.
I know. Yeah, true. Texter. This is a post-Texas Tech comment. I'm not seeing success down the line. I think some of these players are done for the season or they have lost focus. West Virginia started the year showing good talent and potential, but not enough want to. Whatever the combination, it adds up in disappointment. The answer: money buys talent. Talent wins games. See Georgia, Ohio State, and Yankees. Not hard to figure out. You may find the occasional anomaly, but you see the same names at the top for a reason. Did you see, was it Justin Fields on that podcast where he said,
fake.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
What do you mean it was fake?
That was all fake.
Was it deep fake?
Fake account.
Was it?
Yeah, guy was jacking around.
But
The guy that posted it was jacking around.
But did he say that?
Did you play the video?
No, I didn't play the video.
Yeah, there was no sound to it. Guy was jacking.
I must have been on the plane or somewhere, and I never listened.
Not real.
How about that crap? That's pretty good. Pretty bad. Texter. Hey, 3 guys. Sometimes 2 guys. Yeah, sometimes it starts as 3 guys and it morphs into 2 guys during the show. This is Aaron from East Aurora, New York. Right in my home stomping grounds there. Longtime listener. My thoughts on the West Virginia-Texas Tech game. It was so close we let them get away. Hope the team can turn it around and a run for the NCAA. I was able to stop by Kegler's after the game to partake in some of that Kirchhoff Ale. It's a great summer beverage. P.S. My family has land in Preston County. There he is. Shout out. East Aurora. Hello. Williamsville.
Who's that?
Hello.
Aaron. Hello, Aaron. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Gettsville. Hello. Oh, boy. Here we go. Remember Dougie Freshier? That Myrtle Beach dude?
Sure.
This thing gets a little long. I feel compelled to tell you the rest of the story regarding the Beast of the East that was mentioned by a Bill from Evansdale in the last show. So this is a Beast of the East. Now, this is going to go to the people that remember the Beast of the East, right? 80s. Mm-hmm. First of all, Beast is no way, shape, or form like the Mothman. So, Brad, you've got no worries.
Thank you.
The Beast is not feared by Mountaineer faithful. Second, Bill from Evansdale that mentioned the Beast last show is a pseudonym. Pseudonym. It's none other than the School of Pharmacy's dean, Bill Petros. When he was a bit younger in the 80s, he was a WVU grad and a pharmacist in North Carolina. He'd come up for a football game. He noticed that the Beast would appear out of nowhere for the big games, and it seemed it always led to Mountaineer victories. Then in the mid-80s, West Virginia went through some lean years, and the Beast was nowhere to be found. That brings us to the year of 1988, a year all Mountaineers will remember as the undefeated Major Harris-led squad. Bill decided it was time to bring back the Beast. Game 1 brought Bowling Green, and Bill was ready. You'll see it in this first picture that a sign Bill made. There it is, like that old school. I took the picture of Bill and my wife Sharon proudly displaying the sign. Of course, the Mountaineers pummeled the Falcons that day. Fast forward to Game 3 against Maryland. All of you would agree during that era, the Maryland game was always the marker. Bill wasn't able to attend, but I was there to witness the 55-24 drubbing of the Terps. And as you can see in picture 2, I went up to the concourse at games and I ran into the other Beast of the East. There he was. Remember that? That's what it looked like. That was the Beast of the East. When I asked him if he saw the sign from 2 weeks before, he said very quietly and humbly and simply stated, "That's why I'm here." Because he got called out. Yeah. Like, where are you, Beast of the East? He gets back in there from Maryland. To this day, it is Dean Petros's proudest moment. And with the success of the Beast, the old school rivals we face this year, it's time. I don't know who he is or where he may be, but it's time to bring back the Beast. And that is the rest of the story, signed by Dougie Freshier. P.S. Here's a daytime pick from Murrell's Inlet.
Murrell's Inlet.
Yeah, come on down for a show. I don't even know. We have that picture? Anyway, it's a pretty picture. Beach stuff.
Oh, you don't have the Murrell's Inlet picture?
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to see.
It went away. Taylor's been doing a good job.
We didn't there.
Well, I don't know. I may not have sent it to him. It didn't transfer something. Texter. Tony, good to talk with you at the game Saturday. Glad I got to tell you about my brothers owning land in Lewis County for a deer camp around Crawford. Yeah, this is pretty funny. So this guy's got land in Lewis County. He invites a buddy from the D.C. area to go to the camp in the fall. The guy shows up in a $75,000 Lexus parked beside my brother's trailer. Those were the days. Go Mountaineers. Signed by the East Bank guy. Yeah, there he is right there. That's the East Bank guy. How about this picture?
Is that Jambi in the background of the picture?
Jambi photo bombing and Jacobs in the middle. Yeah. Texter. This basketball team seems to be building a resume for the NIT. If that's the case, would it be beneficial to accept a bid and use the same rotations? It does give more practice and playing time, but a lot of minutes are absorbed by the players who are done after this year. If you don't play them, then you lessen your chances of winning, and that would be exposure. Would that would-be exposure be beneficial? So here's the deal, man. Wow. Let's get something clearly established and straight. When coaches in football say we need to get bowl practices for development of our players, that is not true. It doesn't happen. The reality of it is simply not true. So what do you get? 2 practices, 3 practices. These games happen about 9 minutes after the season is over. That used to be maybe a little bit true, but that's gone away. And as far as like looking ahead in basketball, like, do you play these guys and not these guys? Because if you just played 35 games, nothing changes. So it just, nothing. They're exhibition games is what they are. Texter, when are we getting Hoppy Kercheval in Parkersburg? We are doing our very best that we can to, number one, make enough to fill where it is. Right now it's in over 30 locations. I know it's not in Parkersburg. I know it's not in Wheeling. We just broke the Cuban Missile Crisis into Martinsburg this weekend to get it into the Bavarian Inn. And that's great.
Sounded like that was well received over there.
Oh, hey, Taylor, do you have that picture from the Bavarian Inn? I think I sent you that one. Have a young lady pouring it, and then we got a guy behind. What's that? Didn't get it. Oh, you just had what? You just shot him a look. I'm staying away from that one. We'll get it later. It'll probably be on some of our social. He writes a poem. Here we are with our backs to the wall, desperately needing to play our best ball. I have my Kercheval ready just for celebration, or my 200-foot fly rod Slim Jim to eat out of frustration. This isn't where I thought we'd be last fall. Signed by the Bearded Ear. Texter, 2 thoughts. I love watching the Mountaineers, but what do you think college basketball can do about the never-ending free throw contest in the second half of the games? Do you go to quarters? Do you go to the Elam ending? What would you do? Grant and Parkersburg.
Good question.
I think the length of football games is actually the situation that needs the quickest help, and rules are coming out. Did you see that this week? No more stop of the first down. No more stop of the clock on first downs. And some other changes to make the game go quicker.
Proposed, not accepted yet.
Looks like it's going to get it, though.
Yeah, but there were a couple that were too far-fetched.
A couple won't get it, but I think there'll be a couple that will.
Yeah, was there a proposal in there for shorter TV timeouts? Was that in there, or that's not? They're not going to look at that?
I haven't heard that
They'll just
brought
change
up.
the game before they look at that?
Yeah, I haven't heard that brought up yet.
I do wonder about, there should be some pretty good studies on quarters now. Because if you pay attention, the quarters might be one of the first fixes there.
I like quarters.
When I've been to those women's games, it seems like there's less parading to the free throw line and more basketball. That might be a good place to start.
Yeah. Hey, 3 guys, this is Dominic from Hurricane. I've been listening for a month or so now. I love how you perform your opinions off of strictly statistics, being a math and numbers person. So that's you saying. Mm-hmm. Do you guys, by any chance, remember John Ho? He's my dad. I was born at Ruby, lived in Morgantown for my first year and a half alive. Now I'm back here for an engineering degree. Keep it up. I'll definitely be there for 800 and beyond.
That's awesome, Dominic. Not only do I remember and know your dad, John, spent a lot of time with him. He was an executive with Coca-Cola for a while. Remember when Dominic was born.
Really? Student here. He says, I'll definitely be there. I'll definitely be there for 800 and beyond. Unfortunately, Dominic, you'll be alone.
Good to hear from Dominic.
Yeah.
We're old.
Texter, spreads thought for sure Saturday home game Stevenson would get us a W against the Red Raiders. I lost a little pizza money. I want a pizza party, though, because of him against the Pokes. Let's steal this. So he's got some betting slips that he sent along there. He was able to do whatever those things are that you do, that you play both ends and you don't lose. Look at you studying that
Yeah, I'm
thing.
trying to look there.
Anyway.
Well done. Who was that from? Didn't say. Didn't say.
Know.
Okay, good job.
I threw the paper on the floor.
Yeah, good job.
Charlie from Midlothian. Great win last night. Now let's break the curse of the fog. A little fictitious jocularity. Tuesday is trash pickup day. While I'm watching the game, my wife asks me to take out the trash. During the second half, she says, "Had you taken out the trash?" I responded, "Not yet." She asked, "Why not?" I simply replied, "I was efforting. Doctor says I should be discharged later this week." Let's go Mountaineers. Ha ha.
That's good. Although, really, you could have used it with the first question. Have you taken out the trash yet? Efforting.
Yeah.
Might have saved a follow-up question. Got right to the point. Efforting.
Yeah. Texter, Logan from beautiful Greenbrier County last night, definitely a must-win. We still have some more games to play and win, but I'm still confident we can make it happen. I was at a lunch this past Sunday, some friends, and they're talking about the Kirchhoff Ale, and at some of the restaurants they've been to since they travel for work. I myself, not a beer drinker, but one thing that they loved about our conversation was I can do a spot-on Pat McAfee impression. Keep up the good work. Let's go. All right, Logan, do this. Send a recorded version on your of your Pat McAfee and attach it to your next text. That text number, by the way, is 304-404-4083. That's 304-404-4083. And just like Gomart, we're open around the clock, 24/7. You can send us one of those texts there.
But text, don't call, even though if you're watching, the graphic says call and has an old school phone.
Yeah, we don't pay a whole lot of attention to that. Three Guys Before the Game returns on Thursday with our preview of the. You're going to do two previews, Kansas and the other one?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
What do you mean? Oh, there it is. There's the Fly Rod Slim Jim from Gomart. See, is Gomart, what do they got? Gophers?
Yeah.
Is that what they have? That's their thing, right? They got logo. That's their characters. Guy's got a Fly Rod Slim Jim, foot-long Fly Rod Slim Jim. He's out there fishing, trout fishing. Okay, I think we've cleaned up all the business at hand.
Is that a 2-hour show?
No.
Oh.
Hour and change. Three Guys Before the Game. Special thanks to our new sponsor, Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. What they do is they sell family fun. If you're interested in the world of pontoon boats, they're the only place to go to. We're in West Virginia. You can check them out. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. That's Lou Wendell, 2 L's, right next to each other. Just like Burdett's got 2 T's, Lou Wendell's got 2 L's.
Right next to each other.
Right next to each other. LouWendellMarineSales.com. They do a fantastic job selling.
Get on that now because boat weather's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Fast.
Yeah, you might not think it's coming, but it's coming quick. LouWendellMarineSales.com. Brought to us by Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. Visit Bob and the fine folks at ComaxWV.com. Hoppy later today going down to Charleston. He'll stop at the Flatwoods Gomart, but there's so many more. They're all across the state, and you can save money on gas and favorite snacks by getting a rewards card. Just go to the Gomart website at gomart.com, and you'll get the card. Go for good times, go for Gomart. And by the only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia, it's BurdettCamping.com. All right, back on Thursday for our double preview. West Virginia's got 2 road games and then 1 last home game. Be good. Episode 444 of Three Guys Before the Game is now over, and it is out. See y'all.